Now, this is something I didn't show you on screen yesterday, but that's what exactly I meant. That when we talk about property, property is something which is having value or as an asset in legal terms. It could be tangible or intangible, as we are able to see here, right? So the property is there. The property could be tangible or intangible. Now, tangible property is not matter of discussion for us at this point of time. So what we are limiting ourselves is intangible assets. So what is intellectual property? Intellectual property is nothing but an intangible asset. Now, none of you have asked me, but I'm asking on your behalf, is there any other intangible property we can think of? The answer is yes. When we talk about goodwill, so goodwill is another intangible property. So goodwill is something you can't touch, feel, right? So in addition to intellectual property, another good example for intangible assets or intangible property would be goodwill. Now, in the last class, we did talk about what is intellectual property. So intellectual property is a product of human mind, human intellect, and human creativity, which has commercial value. Now, this is of essence, something which I stressed yesterday in the last session, where most of us did miss out on this very important aspect of intellectual property. So, an intellectual property can be considered intellectual property when it has some commercial value. Now, if some property which does not have any commercial value or an intangible asset which might not have commercial value, so even when we talk about goodwill, we are able to say goodwill is an asset only because it has commercial value, and somebody would be willing to purchase that in form of an asset. I hope we are able to understand, right? So the commercial value aspect becomes very, very important for intellectual property. Now, from here, now we move to something, a very interesting and important discussion, and please be with me. This is something which is of great essence, and we do not, deep dive to understand this aspect. There are a couple of ideas which I would like to bring to the forth. First, we do in the previous slide, we did talk about, product of human mind, human intellect, and human creativity, which has commercial value. But I just want to pinpoint and stop you and want you to think for a moment and think about whether the human idea, which is also a creation of mind, human idea, right? Any idea for that matter, whether we would be able to protect human idea. Therefore, I have written specifically. So the whole idea is that we never protect any idea, right? What do we protect? We protect, what do we protect? We protect the applications of these human ideas. This is something which is very, very important for us to understand because it brings in privacy as well, right? Now, most of you would not be able to appreciate why is that? Because if I start protecting human ideas, it simplistically means I would be restricting every other individual on this earth from thinking about that idea. So the whole idea is not to restrict anybody from thinking that idea, but then whatever is the application of that human idea, I want to protect that. Right. So this is something which is very, very important for us to understand that IP never protects an idea. What does it protect? It protects not the idea itself, but the application of that idea or the product or the process which is an outcome of that idea. This is what is protected. Now, even when we talk about that these product and process, which is an outcome of that idea. So there could be an everyday idea or there could be an extraordinary idea. So let me give you an example of what do I mean by everyday idea. Now, I'm sure most of you would take beverages in the morning. You would like to have a tea or a coffee, right? Now, the process of making a tea or process of making a coffee, or for that matter, the process of, brushing your teeth or the process of cleaning your cloth, right? It is something like an everyday idea. I hope all of you are with me and would be able to connect what do we mean by everyday idea. Now, what is an extraordinary idea? Do we remember E is equal to MC square? I hope you remember, right? So E is equal to mc square is what? Something which, Mr. Einstein had given us, that energy produced during, fission and fusion is equivalent to whatever is the difference in the mass into the square of the speed of the light, right? So this E is equal to mc square. So this is an extraordinary idea, or Pythagoras theorem, or trigonometry. All these are what? Or any other formulas which we have learned, mathematical formulas, or any other theories, principles which have been developed over a period of time. I hope we are able to understand. All those are what? Those are extraordinary ideas. Those ideas are not something, we keep with us or we use every day, right? So the whole idea is that when we talk about intellectual property, it does not protect everyday idea, and it also does not protect extraordinary idea. Now, I have already given that rider. Please remember, we don't protect idea itself. What do we protect? We protect the application of the same, right? So in the same lines, we never protect human ideas. What do we protect? We protect the application of human ideas, or the products and the process which is resulting out of that human idea or human creativity. Is that what we protect? We have looked at from the previous slide. But for ease of understanding, I'm breaking it down that even when we categorize human ideas, the human ideas are sort of a continuum, right? What is it? It is sort of a continuum. So at one end, we have set of ideas which are everyday idea. Whereas on the other end of the continuum, what do we have? We have set of extraordinary ideas. And when we talk about IP neither protects everyday ideas, it does not protect extraordinary ideas. What it protects something in middle. So whatever is between this everyday idea and extraordinary idea is what is exactly protected. Now, this is something which is very, very important for our discussion regarding software patentability. Now, I'm building upon it. Please remember these aspects, what I'm putting it. So we don't protect human ideas. That's one. Second, what we protect is not everyday ideas. We can never protect the way you make a coffee, the process for making a coffee, a process for making a tea, or your nani's, dadi's kadha, or for that matter, extraordinary ideas like E is equal to mc square, or Pythagoras theorem, or various algebra formulas, and so on. Those are two different continuum ends of a continuum. We don't protect that. What do we protect in IP? Something in middle.